A couple days ago, a video was posted on YouTube, poorly edited, hyperbolic in the way they approached the subject, claiming that some mysterious black box technology, which is always sounds like magic when they say some technology and they don't know what it is, was being used to manipulate seismic activity on the island of La Palma in the Canary Islands and for nefarious purposes. Now, quick background. La Palma's in the Canary Islands. It's off the northwest coast of Africa. La Palma's a volcanic island. It has an actual gigantic fault running through the middle of the island, and it's very deep water around it. And if that part of the island that's faulted were to slide into the ocean, which could technically happen, it would cause a tsunami that would cross the Atlantic Ocean in 7 or 8 hours. When it piled up in the shallow coastal waters of the continental United States, it would cause a tidal wave to rush inshore really fast at 150 feet high maybe, and would wipe out millions of lives and do untold damage to the economy of the United States. It would effectively take us down for a while, maybe permanently. There's no way to evacuate New York City in time, just for one example. However, they're claiming that this is being done on purpose, and my skeptical nature and the way that they were all breathless about it makes me suspicious. So I discounted it basically because, especially when I look closely at it, the actual feed they had from a European earthquake monitoring agency looked suspiciously like a perfectly grid pattern, which they call a grid pattern, of seismic sensors on La Palma feeding data. So it didn't look like any of the other earthquakes in that regard. But I said I would look into it, and I did. And I found something really disturbing, disquieting maybe. And I am going to put that up, and you can draw your own conclusions. This is from the EMSC website, link in the description, for the week ending 10/25/2021 in the wee hours of the morning. Now, there's something very, very interesting that you have to see here. That arrow is pointing out a 4.7 magnitude earthquake on the island of La Palma, the island in question. Not unusual that a website that reports things like this would actually show it, but there's something very interesting that you need to see when it comes to the USGS. This is a screenshot from the U.S. Geological Survey, the exact same time period, also for 4.0 and above earthquakes. Now, you may have already noticed something very interesting about it, but if you didn't, let me point it out to you more clearly. You'll notice something here in the circled area, a lack of anything at all. A 4.7 earthquake appears on the U.S. Geological Survey in an area where conspiracy theorists say that something evil is being perpetrated. And here we have it from the USGS survey, whose data is considered paramount, that there's nothing there at all. So what are we to conclude from this? Well, there's a few things. First of all, I'm not suggesting that a mysterious and unnamed and undefinable technology is being used to cause a massive man-made disaster of unimaginable proportions. And I think that probably there's a logical explanation for this. For one thing, despite the fact, if you go back and look, freeze frame and look at the two maps, you will see that there's a tremendous amount of correlation. You can pick an earthquake out on one map and find it on the other map without a problem. There is a difference in the total number of earthquakes, and that's not unusual because there is always a difference, or should be say there's frequently a difference in the magnitude reported between the two sites. It's not uncommon. And so some earthquakes that will report over 4.0 on one will not report over 4.0 on the other, and so there's always a difference. It's entirely possible that that data feed means something different, that it's in a grid pattern for a reason. I still think it might be the sensors. But the fact that I went back and looked at the USGS website for a period of 10 years boxing out just that region of the Canary Islands and have found essentially nothing. Nothing at all. It's like the data isn't in the USGS earthquake catalog, and that seems a little odd. It might not mean anything, and frankly, I don't think anybody's trying to deliberately cause an earthquake. But it looks like data is missing, and at this time, I do not have an explanation for that. So, there's where we're at, folks. Maybe it's nothing at all, but it's strange, and this is one of those rare instances where a conspiracy theory I don't have a ready answer for. Uh, that's where we're at. And anyway, I'll give you updates as I figure out what's going on.